Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and I made this card for a Technique blog hop, and the technique is called Bargello, and apparently it is borrowed from the world of quilt making. And so you use strips of paper and chop them up and chop them up again. I thought I would make another one to actually demonstrate the technique, and this time I am going to use the 2024-2026 in colours. So I've learned a couple of things from making my first one. One of them being that I added the paper to card first of all, then cut it, and then added it to another bit of card, and then, as you can possibly see, I embossed it. It was a bit chunky to get through the embossing folder, and also I don't think I'd put enough glue on all of the ends, so I had to piece back in some bits when I trimmed it down again. So I'm hoping that I've got the solution to these issues I had with that one, and that this one will be a little bit easier. So I'm starting off with some copier paper. So not card, just your normal copier paper. I've trimmed down this so that it's 6 inches there, and all of these have been trimmed off 6x6 pieces, so they're all 6 inches in length. Some of them are half an inch and some of them are 5/8 of an inch, or round about that. Sometimes when it got to a bit, I just chopped it down the middle, so they're not one nor the other. So definitely want to make sure that I get glue all the way along there. Now, I normally use the thin end. I'm going to try it with this because it spreads it a bit better. Okay, so I think I have glue on all of that piece now, as well as some on my mat. I'm going to take that off, put that to the side, and then just add that on to my piece of paper, and then I will continue to do that. I'm going to try and get it right up to the edge of the paper, which is why I trimmed it to 6 inches, so that I could try and get them straight. Like, that's still not straight, Heather. Let's just take it off completely and try again. So, might help if I had my glasses on. Might not. I reckon once I've got the first one straight, it should be a bit easier. It better be a bit easier. Okay, now I could end up with lots of glue on myself here, so I am going to have hand sanitizer at the ready to take it off my hands, and I will clean this periodically so that I don't get glue on the front of my paper as well. So I may interrupt play to just clean up as I go. So that's just a nice thin layer of glue all the way along on that. And then this one I'm gonna pop right the way up. There we go. Yeah, much easier the second time. Okay, so I will probably fast forward you really quite quickly through all of this. So if you're crafting along, just pause the play and then you can come back and watch once I've got all of these strips put on. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strips. It's possibly more than I need. And I'm not doing them in any particular order. I'm not making sure that I've got a pattern. I'm just chopping and changing which design I'm using. So that one was a little bit short there. Also haven't quite got it tight. I really do want to try and make sure I do, but you'll forgive me if I don't have it perfect. Right, okay, I'm going to stop waffling and forget about my mat. Stop waffling and I will fast forward you through this process of gluing all of these bits on, and then we'll take it to the next part of the process. Okay, so I am simply going to trim that down to the end of this piece here, 6 inches, like that. And I haven't been exactly precise along the edge, so I'm going to take a little slither off either end so that we've got designer series paper all the way on our strips. Let me just that down. That's not really neat enough, Heather. Take a bigger strip off and be done with it. There we go. Okay, so I am going to cut these again at 1/2 inch. And 5/8. Half inch. 5/8. Half inch. 5/8. Don't have to be precise, they just need to be straight. And this isn't quite right, so I'm going to do that at 5/8, and I shall discard that a little bit at the end there. Okay, so we've now got all of these. I'm going to keep them all the same way up. So we've got Shy Shamrock at the top with the circles. You can get rid of that. Do not need that anymore. And I now have this piece of white card that will layer on to my card base. Okay. So now is when I decide what kind of pattern I'm going to use. So I could start off there and maybe go up one that way, down one. No, we need to do, so we could do that, up and down and up and down. I think that's pretty much what I did with that one. Or you could start that one there and then kind of slowly decrease it, so you've kind of got a chevron type thing on there. I need to do it a little bit more. Maybe start with here actually. So it's entirely up to you, or you could just simply add them one upside down and just have a completely random pattern. Totally up to you. I am going to stick with what I did on this one, and I'm going to start there. In fact, no, I'm going to start it at the end. So again, this is longer, much longer than I need it to be, so I can decide what combination I want to use. And I think I'm going to go middle. So I'm going to line up that at the bottom. And we need to get gluey again. So again, want to cover as much of it as possible. But it's not quite so important unless you want to trim this down further. So I've got that, put them right up to the edge like that. Okay, and then my next one, see, that didn't get enough glue despite me thinking I'd got it all. And now it's got too much. Right, so I can come down like that. Yep, gonna do that. So I don't need to go right to the top or right to the bottom. Do you want? Right, so that's a match. I can either go up or I can come down. Gonna come down. Like that. And then just continue. So with different widths, I'm not doing it in any kind of pattern again. Just want to make sure I've got the whole sheet covered. So I will continue. To have, so I'm continuing to line that up at the bottom there. Okay. I'll keep going and we'll see what it looks like when I'm finished. All right, now I am not going to lie. I was concerned it wasn't going to have enough, but I got there. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, I did have that extra little strip that I could have squeezed in, but didn't need to. So I'll take that out of the way. Now I have lots of bits to cut off, and I'm going to use my scissors because I do not want to gum up my paper trimmer. So I am lining up my blade of my long scissors just at the edge. And these bits should fall off. Okay, lots of gummy bits. Let's just move that out of the way and then do this edge here. Putting them all on my silicone mat out of the way. Thank goodness for baby wipes. Right, I'm going to chop that off the end. Whew. So this is where you can see that because I've trimmed it, I've got tiny little bits missing. I could try and put that back in there, but it's such a tiny, tiny little slither. What I could do is, because that's... I'm just going to add a little bit of that colour that's missing there. And I've got a tiny little bit there as well. So I could leave it like that and just pop that straight on to here. On this one I left a bigger border because after I'd done it I did trim it down a little bit more. I could do that. Let's do that. Okay, now it is a little bit tacky in places. At least I'm not going to get lots of glue on my trimmer. Right, so this layer for my card is 10 by 14. So I'm going to take that down. I'll take a little bit off that side. Okay, and then I can get rid of that little bit. I do that at 9.5. I can get rid of that little bit that I had to colour in. Yay! And I'm going to take a little bit. I'll just take off one end, shall I? No, I'll trim up both. So 9.5 by 13.5. And that's going to give me a wider border. And because the way I've laid it out, I don't now have any little bits missing because I glued it properly. So because we're talking a quilting technique, I thought it would be quite nice to use this cute crochet 3D embossing folder. So I've just lined up the bottom of my piece there, and I will just emboss that and then come back and we can finish the card off. Okay, so by using the paper instead of card for the first layer, it did make it easier to go through the cut and emboss machine. Okay. So I'm going to pop that on there. I need a sentiment. So with this one I used the new Everyday Greetings, it's called. So I used the Thinking of You for that one. I think I will just use the Thank You for this one. And I just need to pick out one of the colours. There we go. Thank you there. That was stuff falling down at the side of me. I didn't put it away properly, I just piled it up. Right, a little scrap. You'll do. And I think I'm going to go Petunia Pop. Like that. Thank you. I love the font on this stamp set. So this is a new online exclusive. And the dies, so there are 2 stamp sets and 1 set of dies. I'm going to stick with using this one. And obviously it's going to be a bit shorter. Or should I use this one? I don't actually want the hole with the tag, so I'm going to go like that, and I'll chop it off at that side. Right, so let me get my embossing machine again, but this time to cut. Okay, we're on the home straight now. I haven't done that very well. I've chopped off the end of the Y, but I'm not going to fix it now. I'm not going to fix it. Right, I'm going to just add that to my card base. And then I'm going to chop that off around about there. Just my big scissors, you'll do like that, and aligned that up with the outer edge and the dimensionals. And I also need a bit of ribbon. So I think, oh, excuse me while I reach right over, I'm going to go with a little bit of Pretty in Pink. So just put that on. I added some tear and tape. Let's check where I want this to be. I'll go along there, so I'll put that here, along a little bit there. Here's my take your pick tool, take the backing off. Then I can start my ribbon up there and then do little loops and back down again like that, and get my ribbon scissors to chop that there, and I want to chop that an angle as well. Okay, so obviously got sticky on here. Just play about with that a little bit more. Yeah, go with that, and then that can go on top there. dimensionals. We'll go one that end and one that end, and I will put one in the middle, but probably won't stick very well on the ribbon, but it just keeps it the same height. Pop that up to the outer edge like that, and then we need some bling. Always need some bling, and I'm going to go sparkly with the In Colour Shimmer Gems, if I can find them. There they are. So we've got 5 colours. I'm going to add one of each in the 2 different sizes. Oops. Trying that again. One of you. Oh, I've got more of the bigger one than I've got the little one. One of you. One, two, three. I'm going to keep them all the larger ones actually, because that's what I've got more of. And peach pie, last one. Where are we going to put you? Need to be able to see it. Let's go there. No, I don't like it there. Let's go there. Oh, decisions, eh? Who'd have thought that'd be the tricky part? So there we go. 2 Bargello technique cards. I quite like the technique. I'm not gonna lie, I probably won't do it for a while, because I've got myself in a sticky mess. I think I do prefer doing it halfway rather than full, but then because they're different widths, it's not as rigidly checkerboard as it could have been if I'd done them all the same width. But yeah, I've enjoyed making that. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button, click the bell, get notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Until then, please do take care. Bye bye.